Hi everyone, it's Sabrina Fox of Fox Legal Training. This week it's a spotlight on liability management transactions. The first thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is the recent announcement that Altice has reached an agreement with their creditors on both the secured and unsecured side, and that the agreement will see them each taking some equity in the business in exchange for a haircut. There will be some other aspects of this proposal, a cash payment, new debt agreements, and according to DebtWire, in the secureds, it will see the recovery translate into roughly 86 to 87 cents on the euro. And thanks very much to Madalena Jacob for her reporting on that topic. This has been going on for about a year. The negotiations following their transfer of XP Fiber to an unrestricted subsidiary. And I thought it was really interesting that the agreement would also see some of that entity re-entered into the restricted group. So it does show the power of a borrower's ability to move assets outside of lender's reach in that way, and underscores the importance of really checking carefully documentation flexibility around investments in unrestricted subs. By way of reminder, you can look in a number of different places for this because the borrower can use any restricted payments capacity for investments in unrestricted subsidiaries and any general purpose capacity. So to run through that, it would mean build-up basket capacity could be used for this purpose. General restricted payments basket capacity. Leverage-based restricted payments capacity. Permitted investments definition, you want to look for investments in unrestricted subs, sure, but also general permitted investments capacity. Similar businesses capacity. Capacity that's general purpose, like the leverage-based permitted investments carve-out. These can all be aggregated and used to transfer valuable assets away from the restricted group. I will obviously be keeping an eye on the situation as it develops. Would love to take a look at new documentation to the extent that ends up being public, because one of the other things I did note is that lenders did put some tighter requirements into the documentation around related party transactions, which makes sense in the context of this deal. I'll come back to that another day, but I wanted to show you a term that came to my attention in a deal from R.R. Donnelly last year. Thanks to Prudence Ho from LSEG for this one. It's a provision that appeared also recently in the Getty Images deal, and it is a liability management blocker. So to find it, I just did a Control F for liability management. And as this document is laboriously searching through pages and pages, I will just say that I think this is a great development. I think it's something that lenders should consider putting in their deals as a blanket blocker, if you will. So what we're looking at here is a summary of the provision, which would appear in full in the indenture, but it basically says the issuer and its restricted subs cannot enter into a liability management transaction, and then it has a $25 million threshold and has some exclusions in terms of what it will not apply to. So to any debt that is contractually senior or structurally senior prior to the transaction, the announcement of any liability management transaction. So it's grandfathering in the debt. Now I'm going to do another Control F for liability management to see what the definition is of liability management transaction, because that's obviously a really important aspect of this analysis. And what we see here is that the definition is designed to apply or to encompass any exchange of any existing debt with any other debt if it's not for bona fide business purpose and is specifically designed to up-tier existing LMT debt on a non-pro rata basis into contractually or structurally senior new LMT debt or to the existing LMT debt. So it is designed to encompass both structural and contractual non-pro rata up-tiering, which covers most of what I would consider to be the key risks around liability management. What it won't do is prevent borrowers from doing drop downs like what Altice did. So I wanted to talk about both of these together, because to really prevent something like what Altice did, you need to be aware of the borrower's overall capacity to do that. And yes, a J-Crew blocker would be effective, but only if it applies to not just material IP, but any material assets. If you want an ironclad LMT proof document include this provision that I've just gone through, plus a secure J-Crew blocker that actually applies to all material assets of the borrower, in addition to ensuring that their investments capacity is set at a reasonable level that would allow them to do things for bona fide business purposes, but not for the purpose of moving assets out of lenders' reach in order to have a negotiating chip at the table. So that is it for me today. I trust that you have found that helpful. As always, I'm available at Sabrina@foxlegaltraining.com. I love to talk about covenants. So if you have any questions on what I've gone through, or you would like to take a look at Fox Legal Training's first of its kind legal training platform so that you can spot things like this just like the pros, definitely get in touch. Thanks everyone and have a great day.